What is going on, you guys? This is VM Video Master, and welcome to Eerie Encounter, the place where the shadows whisper and the unexplained comes to life. Today, we're diving into something even more spine chilling than my usual reaction videos. I'll be sharing with you my own personal tales of terror. These are the stories that kept me awake at night, questioning my own reality. And now I'm sharing them with you, which I'll be sharing with you every week. So dim the lights, settle in, and prepare to face the unknown, if you dare. The holiday season is upon us, a time for joy, laughter, and celebration. But in the dark corners of winter, not all spirits are merry. Some watch, some wait, and some are far from kind. As we unravel a chilling tale about holiday traditions that hide something sinister, stay close and beware of the Winter Watchers. In the snowy town of Frosthaven, December was a month of celebration and superstition. Nestled deep in the mountains, the town had a strange holiday tradition. Each family placed an old fashioned wooden figurine, a watcher on their windowsill at the start of the season. The figurines were crude with long limbs and hollow eyes, each carved by hand and passed down through generations. Legend has it that the watchers protected the town from harm. They were said to ward off a nameless darkness that came with the longest nights of the year. But there was one rule every family knew by heart: never let the watcher fall. For 12-year-old Emily Carter, the watcher was just another decoration, like the wreath on the door or the garlands around the fireplace. It sat silently on the windowsill, its hollow eyes staring out into the snowy night. "Why do we even put this thing out?" Emily asked her mother. It's tradition, dear," her mother replied with a faint smile, "and it keeps us safe." But Emily wasn't convinced. One evening while her parents were out, she was tidying up when her elbow bumped the figurine. It teetered, then tumbled to the floor, shattering to pieces. Emily froze, staring at the fragments, her chest tightening with a strange dread she couldn't explain. Shaking it off, she swept up the pieces and tossed them into the trash. That night, the wind howled louder than usual, and the house seemed colder despite the roaring fire. Emily thought she heard whispers in the wind, faint and eerie, but when she looked out the window, nothing was there. Only the snow-covered street and the empty space where the watcher had once stood. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. Emily's little brother Timmy started talking to someone who wasn't even there. "Timmy, who were you talking to?" Emily asked. "The man by the window," Timmy replied, pointing. But when Emily looked, there was no one there. Only frost spreading across the glass and cold, odd-like, claw-like patterns. The whispers grew louder at night, and shadows seemed to move just beyond the edge of the light. Emily's parents dismissed it as her imagination, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her. On the night of the very first snowfall, Emily awoke to a strange noise, a tapping on the window. Her heart pounding, she crept to the sill and pulled back the curtain. A figure stood in the snow, tall and thin, its face obscured by shadows. Its long, bony fingers tapped rhythmically on the glass. Emily's breath caught in her throat. She stumbled back, but when she looked again, the figure was gone. In its place was a new watcher, a crude wooden figurine identical to the one she had broken, but its hollow eyes seemed deeper and darker. The next morning, she tried to tell her parents, but they waved her off. "It's just a story, sweetheart," her father said. "The Watchers aren't even real." But Emily knew better. Desperate for answers, Emily went to the town's oldest resident, Mrs. Grayson, who lived alone at the edge of the woods. "The Watchers," Mrs. Grayson whispered, "are not just decorations. They keep the winter men away. If one is broken, the darkness comes." What do I do?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. Mrs. Grayson shook her head sadly. "You cannot undo what's been done, but you can survive. Never let them inside no matter what you hear. And whatever you do, don't make eye contact." That evening, the whispers turned into voices, and the tapping on the window grew even more insistent. Emily's parents were oblivious, but Timmy sat up in bed, staring wide-eyed at the corner of the room. "They're here," he whispered. The lights flickered and the room grew colder. Shadows stretched across the walls, and Emily could feel them closing in. When she looked back at the windowsill, the new watcher was gone. The tapping turned into pounding, and the front door burst open. The wintermen stepped inside, their skeletal frames cloaked in frost, their hollow eyes glowing faintly. Emily grabbed Timmy and ran to her room, barricading the door. As the shadows pressed against the walls, she remembered Mrs. Grayson's warning, "Don't make eye contact." But when one of the figurines leaned close, its frozen breath chilling her skin, she couldn't help but look. The last thing she saw was her reflection in its frozen hollow eyes, trapped, frozen, and fading into the dark. You know, they always say traditions exist for a reason. This holiday season, keep your watchers close and your eyes averted. I'm VM Video Master. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, the cold is not the only thing lurking in the dark. And also, you guys, if you enjoyed that story, I have a podcast on Podbean called Fearful Folklore. If you want to hear more, give me a follow on there. And follow me on Spotify. I go by the same thing, Fearful Folklore. I upload every day. And also, this story that you've been hearing, it's a new part of Eerie Encounter I'll be doing every week. I'll be uploading my own personal scary story. So if you want to hear more, or if you have your own scary story, let me know in the comments below. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of this story for the beginning of the holiday season. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And like I always say, I will see you in the next video.